Got another ship here. This is a Section 31 ship, as you can tell by the fact that it's almost completely black and you can't really see anything. It's kind of a nice design. It's mostly like dark gray. You can see here. Let me add... There. I'll add a vanity shield so you can kind of see it. This is the one that they gave everybody for free just recently. Disable visuals here. There. So, there it is. That's what it looks like. It's got some nice shiny black edges and stuff like that. It's very cool. All right, let me just unequip this. Do that shine again. There you go. So it's just it's a very dark ship, and I think it's you know, part of the design just to make it super dark so you can't really see it because it's supposed to be like a stealth ship. So let's take a look. This is the Section 31 Command Heavy Battlecruiser. So for the shields, warp, and deflector, I've got the stuff from the Discovery Legends reputation. You know, Tilly's review pending, all that kind of stuff. This helps keep the ship alive. And then for impulse, I use the prevailing innervated impulse engines, and these are from the competitive wargames set. Now, these ones in particular have what's called the prevailing engine overcharge, which allows you to, when you use like a beam fire at will and all that kind of stuff, it allows you to go faster, which is real nice. And don't we all like to go faster? So that's for those engines. For the fore weapons and the rear weapons, I decided to just go ahead and deck it out with all the Kelvin Timeline stuff that I've got. So I've got Kelvin Timeline phaser emitters for the front and the rear. I've got the Kelvin Timeline photon torpedo launcher for the front and the rear. Just one. Just kind of round it out. For my engineering consoles, I've got 5 isomagnetic plasma distribution manifolds, which increase my weapon power, as well as increase the max weapon power, which is always good. I've got these kind of mixed in. I've got some res alls in there. I've got some weapon power ones in there. I've got and then for the science console, I added a PAX nanite reinforced circuitry, which increases hull jet regeneration and hull capacity. For my technical consoles, because I've got beams on here, I've got the PAX directed energy distribution manifold that you get from the doing the reputation system here for the Discovery reputation. I've got it at max, but you still can do continued support. So you select, you fill all these in using Discovery marks if you have any, and then they give you a little box, a little reward thing right here. And if you open it up, sometimes you get a ground item, sometimes you get another item, but that's what's on there. So I collected those, and I use them for the technical consoles. For my devices, I have the red matter capacitor, which increases power levels. I have the Zenkethi protomatter capacitor, which increases power levels, as well as increasing directed energy weapon damage. 10% chance to inflict radiation damage, so just a different type of damage. Temporal Negotiator is always a must. Reduces bridge officer abilities when you click it. The Subspace Field Modulator increases damage resistance for a little while, as long as the enemy is not using proton-based weapons, in which case it makes you super vulnerable to them. So, and finally, the console that comes with this ship is the Forged Turncoat, which on its passive gives you 15% critical severity and 3 weapon power, which is nice. Adds to the weapon power that I've already got. And then the click thing, which I have not used yet or tried, is Forged Turncoat, which confuses a target, disables the target, and then allows the target to attack its own allies with significantly increased damage, which is kind of interesting. So we'll see how that works out. And we'll see how this ship does on my regular test map against the Borg. Oh, it's also a command cruiser, so I can use the command frequencies. I always do the one with beam arrays and energy weapons. So let's start with a powerful ship over here. And we'll give him the forged turncoat effect right there. So there's like stuff crawling all over him. So I'm going to click on different character here. It looks like he's... Doesn't seem like it did much. Oh, that's right. This is a Section 31 ship, so I can do the swarm of drones, which kind of opens up the ship, which is such a cool effect. And then they fly around the ship and heal stuff and all that kind of stuff. Prevent me from getting hit as much. Dang, that looks cool. I wonder what that looks like with the shield visuals on. Yeah, add that to that. There we go. Looks even cooler. The drone swarm. Cool. Yeah, that formation thing is really cool. It increases your phaser damage, as well as doing kinetic wait, what is this? Oh, it increases phaser damage and kinetic damage to foes. Lowers your hit points, but increases your flight speed and turn rate, which is always good for big ships, and most ships in general. Let's try these guys again. I'm going to try that forged turncoat again. It didn't seem like it did anything. Cool. Alright, well, let's turn off this effect. That's always cool to watch. Like that. Ah, that's so cool. Well, I think if I were to buy a ship like this, that it would just be for that effect, which is kind of built into these Section 31 ships. That that dark mode, or I mean, the deploy swarm thing, and then they have a like a dark mode, which is kind of like stealth, but not quite, because they're not allowed to have, you know, cloaking devices. So if we turn that on, it changes the way everything looks. Ooh. Moves the engines out of the way. Kind of runs them in dark mode. Almost like cloaking, but obviously you can still see it. I'll turn that back on. There we go. Interesting. So, anyway, this is the Section 31 Command Cruiser, Command Heavy Battlecruiser, and I think it's pretty cool looking. Anyway, that's all for this one. We'll see you on the next one. Enjoy!